Alright, got everything ready. Time to sleep early to see that 4th anniversary. Son of a bitch! Because my alarm didn't went off, I'll miss the whole anniversary event. Sad. But anyway, while I can no longer make a live reaction to it, there's something that I can do. Overanalyze every single bit of information I can get to expand my theories. Well, you know what they say, when life gets you lemons and all that. So, what am I gonna focus on? While I say everything, obviously I'm not going to look at every single detail. What I'm actually gonna theorize about are 3 pieces of information that got more of my attention. Those being the 3 trailers we got about new events. No regards about that very last one, as there's pretty much nothing to go on. So, without further ado, and to hurry things up so I can still ride the algorithmic wave, let's get started. First we got none other than the Rhinelabs event. First off the bat, it seems that Mumu is more related to water than we originally believed. If she an offshoot of the Aegir, we will have to wait to see. I'm gonna call her Hall for simplicity's sake, because her name is too long and a bit complicated to say. I'm Mexican, I'm not Mayan. Here we can see Hall in a library. This is meant to represent the whole amount of knowledge she has, and how she seems to be bored of the current history, as there's nothing new for her to know. And then we jump to the main character of the event, Silence, which is rocking her new look. And here we can see some of that liquid metal making a return. It might have not been able to become that super weapon they wanted, but they did give gallons of it. So it was bound to make a return. After all, you just don't get rid of such an impressive material. Here we can see that Mumu's people had a similar fate as those we have seen from one of the IS-3 events, further implying the connection between her and the Aegir. And here we have the most interesting part of Mumu's story. Apparently this is not just a statue, but rather some sort of figure. And I don't mean that as in a model or clay or whatever, more like a representation, probably of her people, her civilization, which we can see that it's crumbling and dusting away, suggesting a calamity that wiped out her species. Back to Hall, we can see how her knowledge is being crumbled away by a new discovery, finally bringing some sort of elation into that cryptic face of her. Point to note, we can see that she displays a very sadistic smile, but I think this is just a jest to the whole saying that snakes don't know how to smile. As a snake lover myself, I would like to add that that's BS. They have the most loveliest of smiles, thank you very much. Here we have an explanation why Silence doesn't use her glasses, as well as a little touch to her design. Just as Ifrit and Saria has her feather, now Silence has a token reminding her of Ifrit. Yet 2 things to point out here. One is blue. It's not red, it's blue. Why will blue be the color related to Ifrit at this point in time? And second, it seems to imply that there was a change in the child. Again, going back to that talk between Ifrit and her passenger, there might be a big thing coming for the little imp. And going back to Hall, we can see how all of the knowledge she has amassed is aiding her to reach this new discovery. A very nice analogy of how all the discoveries help out to make new ones. And even when she's getting hurt in the way there, she's still enjoying it all the same. Meaning how for her, the goal is far more important than the means to get there. On Mumu's story, we can see that the place she was living, it's very similar to Manclaves, or something akin to them. Which makes me think that if Aegir are the sea people, elves might come from ponds or similar bodies of water, marking the difference between the two. Reaching the climax of the trailer, we can see the 3 of them running toward the same pillar of light, the same singularity. Yet looking at how much destruction it's implying to convey in Silence sight, it's clear that it's something that is going to change the face of this planet. We will see that later. And then we see that Hall is the first one to reach the light. First cautious about it, and even a bit aggressive, but once she can discern what this thing is about, she gleefully throws herself into the light, implying how, despite how chaotic this whole event is, she still found it not only interesting, but worthy to dive into. Same thing with Mumu, who is leaving her land behind in order to reach this new discovery, willingly going after it, with glee and what appears to be hope in her gaze. Silence on her side is the only one who approaches with caution. And then Terra's space age begins. And this is the moneymaker. The thing covering Terra's sky is not a monster, is not a deity, but a machine. A humongous contraption. How come we haven't been able to see it clearly? It's beyond me. But at least this answers a couple of things. Namely, how come astronomers can look at the stars despite the sky being implied to be fake? Well, here's the answer. It's more like a cage, not so much a dome. So explaining that little bit. But next is that other bit of trivia which implied that one of the moons was fake. We can see that apparently Saith Moon is on rails. What its function is and what else can it do, it's beyond me, but the fact we can actually see it, it's so freaking impressive. And of course it left me with more questions. Also, worth to point out, we also got Christine's voice. All in all, this is perhaps the most impactful event we will get lore-wise. I mean, the next one is gonna be just that mind-blowing, but this is pretty impressive. And the fact that we get to see it on the trailer, this event can't come fast enough. Okay, next is the Laterano trailer, which starts very strong. Basically, they went and say, Ifrit, here's the story of the Sanctum. They were Sarkas. No branch out, not related, but downright Sarkas. Modified by the law. Which we also get a proper confirmation. Yes, the law, it's a machine. I am so looking forward to this event as well. And again, the fact that we got confirmation from the get-go, like, yeah, screw it, this is the history, no what if about it. Look at how the light is dividing them. Not the light itself, but the line it draws. Looks familiar? That's a DNA strain, meaning that the divide between them is literally genetic. This is not a war between beliefs, this is a war of genetics. Which makes the whole story between the stables and the angels all the more convoluted. And quite a criticism about religion as a whole, but that's a whole debate I'm not gonna get into. This one, I didn't expect it. I mean, everyone saw it when the event, and it was not exactly a secret, but the fact that we got to see the Lao right and center, it's such a huge thing. Not only that, we also get to see a bit of his programming and how he's preparing to do something. Is it in favor of the Sancta or something else entirely? We have yet to see. And finally, this event is gonna be focused on Lemoine. But sadly she's no longer gonna be a sniper, as apparently her gun is gonna be a shotgun. Lastly, the third trailer we got to see in the anniversary. The expedition to the Infinity Ice Field. Very simplistic, not so much information. It reminds me of those old documentaries I love. This also explains why Colombia is so interested in keeping good relationships with Sami. So Samis are not only based on, well, Sami people, but also a bit of Vikings. This was the trailer we got the least information about, mostly because it's meant to cause hype. And of course, the start of this trailer. Santala. Simon is finally joining the team after 4 years of waiting. Now that's a long wait. The most important part of this trailer is without a doubt at the end. The warning, how they start talking about things people should avoid, which gave me strong SCP kind of vibes, like these are things that we don't understand and we don't want to understand. If you see them, tail it. The flowers, the hand and the Ursus shadow has already been explained before, specifically in the IS items, while the black eyes could be connected to the Emperor's blade. Personally, I think it's mostly related to the demons. After all, the shadows accompanying the blades are but a side effect of the use of their powers, so Black Snow might be a herald of actual demons being nearby. And of course the one we couldn't even see. We're not even given a hint of what's supposed to be the most dangerous one. But later on we saw one of the bosses of the event, so I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be that. Not so much a mystery now. But still, much information to look forward to. I'm impressed by how direct they went this time. Like, no subtlety, no implications, here's the information, get excited. And for once, I'm really excited for them. But well, that's gonna make it for now. What do you think about the anniversary? Do you think there's gonna be even more things to discover? Be sure to leave your commentaries down below. This has been Plop. Still salty about my alarm clock, but still wishing you all a great time. And as always, stay healthy everyone.